Jack, you only have 3 stocks. This is so boring.
Well, here you go. Hey all, Choiboy here. Welcome to another video and another Sharesies Portfolio update for June 2021. It's been quite a roller coaster ride. It's been pretty interesting nowadays, so I'm going to share with you how my portfolio has been doing. Any changes? You can already see I've added a new stock. I know you guys been waiting for this, but like,
Jack, you only have 3 stocks. This is so boring.
well, here you go. I added one more, and I'll tell you if I added more cash or did I sell something. TLDR, I sold a bit of a company that has gone up a bit, and I bought Rakon with it. So let's get straight into it. The value changed quite a bit from the past portfolio update as well. Before I show you that, there is a disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before you buy or sell anything I talk about. It's not financial advice. Just keep that in mind. You are responsible for your gains and your losses, and I'm just here to talk about my opinions, and you can take it however you want, but just don't do anything that you will regret doing. So keep that in mind, and let's get straight into it. So what is the portfolio value for June 2021? Ta-da! It is $21,474. Did I add more money? No, I did not. There has been some changes from the previous update. As I mentioned, there has been some increase in stock prices this month, which was really good. Happened a lot actually. We'll go straight into each one of these and kind of talk about why it may have, and also the new addition, Rakon. We're looking at a profit of $2,431, which is around 12.3% in percentage returns. And there is a change that Sharesies have released recently, is your wallet value is not part of your portfolio value anymore. Portfolio value is whatever you have invested, and wallet value becomes separated from that. And that's a good way to look at it, because sometimes people just want to know how much they have invested, and that's what people call portfolio value. They normally don't include the cash. So Sharesies put that out. Thank me later. It might have caused a bit of confusion for some people. Okay, so the graph, you know, as always, up, down, roller coaster ride. Woo! Big roller coaster ride. As soon as I made the May portfolio update early in June, it just start going crazy, right? It kind of fell from that point onwards, but it's okay. It's consolidating around the positive area, which is all good to me. There's nothing much to cover in this aspect. It's been pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with that. Anyways, so let's go back to this and let's look at each company. So I'll cover Rakon at the end. I'll quickly go over the 3 companies I already had so far and just talk about what may have changed. There's not that much things to cover, you know, in a month. You know, the stock market's pretty slow compared to everything else. There's not going to be important news about a stock every month, right? So we'll look into it. So first company that drove the portfolio value up quite a bit is Blackberry. Blackberry, I think it was around the $10 range when I did make the May portfolio update. Now it's at around 12.79. It did reach up to like $15, and even in pre-market in the US, during that time it even reached nearly $20 for what I remember. So it was quite interesting to see. It kind of died down pretty quick, but I think it's like a nice bullish flag here. So I do like this uptrend and a bit of consolidation downwards, and I'm hoping that kind of creates a bullish flag towards the future. So I'm looking at a good year or two before Blackberry actually shines at its max potential. So what happened to them? Nothing much. They did have a new earnings report, so they had some new things coming up in the financials. So this is Blackberry. Nothing much going on except for the fact that their revenue is quite stable. It's like it's not dipping too much. It dipped slightly, but the important part is that the earnings has increased. You know, the earnings was down at negative 1.1 billion per year. Now it's looking at around 530 million negative per year. So it literally halved, meaning the amount of money they're using and earning is actually being stabilized, and it's not that much of a concern anymore. Well, for what I can see. And as long as we can keep this trend of the earnings going upwards, I think it's okay. I don't know when the revenue will start pumping. It's still a mystery why a lot of things that Blackberry should be selling is not coming in through the financial reports yet. We'll have to keep an eye on this one. It's not an easy one to kind of read, I guess. That is the important part with Blackberry. Other than that, it's pretty same old. Nothing much going on with Blackberry for now. Well, we could probably say Wall Street Bets would always have some control over this in some sense. We'll have to look into it. I haven't been on Wall Street Bets for quite some time actually. I'll have to look through them to see if they're pumping BB anytime soon or not. So we'll keep an eye on that one, but that's about it. Same old, just playing between the $10, $15 range, and hopefully this creates a nice foundation to go up to the $20 ranges. So let's keep an eye for that. Second company, we will talk about Plexure. Now Plexure, they haven't had much since the May portfolio update I did, but there is something that people have been asking about. It's this. Our CFO, Andrew Dalziel, has resigned. And it is kind of sad to see the guy. He's such a nice guy, such a honest guy. He's really fun to talk to. It sucks that he's leaving, but I think it's not because the financials crap. Like as you can see on Simply Wall Street, or if you look at the financial reports, as a tech company, the financials are pretty good. We have a lot of cash in the bank, as you can see, the capital raise, using that for the growth, it's quite normal. It's like there was no bad financial that kind of drove Andrew off. This resignation was particularly not a big concern for me. I will only be able to buy and sell after I leave Plexure, I guess. I don't have that much insider info anymore. So, I mean, we'll see about it. I'll have to double check with Andrew before I could do that, but nice bloke. He'll be missed for sure. That was the only news that I could really think about Plexure. Other than that, it's been stabilizing. It hasn't done much in the past months. It was just going down and down and down and down. It's just draining people a bit, and I think people just want new customers. That's all people ask for, is like, where's our new customer? I mean, we got Pit now. Is that good enough? I don't know. Sometimes it makes me feel that Plexure could have been better. It could grow into a better big company in the future if it goes private. That's my personal opinion. I think we're too hooked into keeping the investors satisfied, the clients satisfied. It's just there's a lot of stakeholders involved. It's just consolidating around this range. There hasn't been much movement since the last portfolio update. So that's about it for Plexure. You'll be missed, Andrew. Alright, so the interesting thing with Virgin Galactic is that it's been pumping like crazy. Like, man, I did not expect this. And what happened? I sold like around half my Virgin Galactic at that peak yesterday, last night. And why did I do that? Because it's a speculative stock. And why did it go up? Because the FAA has finally certified Virgin Galactic to carry passengers on their space planes. Man, we're on a good track. And this is what people wanted to see. It's like that successful test flight, and now this. Now they can carry people around, which pretty means business as usual. Boom, let's start to make money. Boom, 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 boom. You know, that's the plan, right? And let's hope that happens. I don't have too much doubt about it, but then again, I don't have that much money in it. And because it, pretty much doubled again, I took profits again, like I always do. So I sold around 663 US dollars worth, and I still have around 548 USD worth. So that's the interesting thing with Virgin Galactic. This is why there's so much hype around it as well. Even the Wall Street Bets, they've been talking about Virgin Galactic. So, but I sold half of it, and what did I buy? The last stock I'll be talking about is Rakon. Why did I buy Rakon, and what is Rakon? What is Rakon? Just simply looking into this, they sell things like XOs, VCXOs, TCXOs, OCXOs. What are these? These are oscillators, and these things are used everywhere, like GPS, 5G network, infrastructure in that kind of space. Spacecrafts, the rover and whatnot, those kind of things will need oscillators, and anything going into space would need things like TCXOs, which are temperature compensated crystal oscillators, which can sustain the frequency even at high temperatures and whatnot. I don't know too much about the actual hardware, but I do know the functionalities and how it's used in general. So it's pretty interesting. It's something that caught my eye because they actually make a lot of money. They currently have a global shortage on these TCXOs, and the reason being is because a company called AKM, which is one of the biggest semiconductor manufacturers in Japan, had a fire in their factory, and they had a global shortage of this thing. And Rakon was like, well, we have some inventory here. Why don't we help you guys kind of ease down the shortage? And they've been doing that, and it's been pretty good. The important thing here is that they're only worth around $200 million, but their revenue is actually pretty high. And not to mention, simply Wall Street is pretty bullish on it, which doesn't really matter too much, I guess. But if we just jot down to the revenues, where's the revenues? Here it is. So the revenue is 128 million per year. This is half of their market cap. That's amazing. Plus, their earnings is not that high, but it's okay for a manufacturing company. It's normally not that high for manufacturing companies, but they just try to sell a lot of volume of it. And normally they're pretty consistent with their earnings, right? And this is pretty good. And with the shortage, I'm really interested to see how much more money they can make. And we'll be needing these oscillators wherever we go. Now, like, technology needs these hardwares and semiconductors, and this is a company in New Zealand that's been here for like probably around 50 years now. It's been providing the world with these oscillators for such a long time. They have a really good history as well. And you can just see that their equity, the debt is really good. Like the debt to equity ratio is pretty good at around 10%, which is pretty phenomenal. Like, it's a long lasting company. They obviously know what they're doing. It will be interesting to see how Rakon handles with this massive demand for these things and how they're going to supply towards it. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. It's not that safe. It's not a safe bet, but it's like a medium risk, medium return kind of one. So this one mellowed down a bit compared to my other kind of investments here. This one is a bit more consistent. They're not a dividend company, but I think they do have a bit of short to medium term kind of potential, especially with the shortage. So I will keep an eye on them, and I put in around $1,000 for now, just under $1,000. Maybe I'll buy more. I'm just keeping my eyes out for any opportunities, and I will put in cash towards anything if I do see a really good deal. So that's pretty much it for the portfolio update today. There's nothing too dramatic going on at this point in time. I just want to see some consolidation and some steady increase in my portfolio value through the stocks I've bought so far. It's looking okay. We still see some negatives here with Plexure and Blackberry, but hopefully in the next year or two I'm looking at them being positive in the future, and that will really push my portfolio up into the positive side. So let's see if that goes out well. If you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up, put a comment down below what you thought. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching this without subscribing. Doesn't take too long. Put the bell notifications, because I do a lot of live streams and you don't want to miss them. I literally answer questions for you. I share my opinions about whatever topic comes up in the live stream, so join in. Normally I do it on a Sunday night or something like that, so it will alert you right away. Anyways, until next time, I'll catch you around. See ya.